Hey guys, it's Core Ross and welcome to 6 News. So today we're talking about Flores, the brand new operator coming to Rainbow Six Siege with Operation Crimson Heist. So this guy is an attacker, he's 2 armor, 2 speed. He comes with either the AR-33 assault rifle or the SR-25 designated marksman rifle. He can use the GSH-18 handgun and he can use stun grenades or claymores. And his unique gadget is an explosive drone. He actually brings 4 of them in total, and he also has of course his usual 2 drones as well. Now thankfully there is some complexity to this drone that I was not expecting. So first of all, when you launch it, you cannot throw it, you have to place it down, although the drone can jump, so that's handy. And Flores has 10 seconds from when he puts the drone down until it will actually go into detonation mode, or he can activate the detonation mode. When he activates the detonation mode, or it goes into it after the 10 seconds, the drone will stop, it will become red and bulletproof and melee proof as well, and then it will explode after that. Now this drone is actually not that good for getting kills, because it actually puts out a threat indicator to the defenders that even goes through walls or ceilings. So this way it's going to be very hard to kill anyone with it. Not to say that it won't happen, of course, it's just that most players will move away from it before it blows up. And I think the best way to describe how this guy is going to be used is to think of him as a Thatcher alternative who's kind of merged a little bit with Twitch, because of course it's a drone, but also a little bit like Ash as well. So bringing those 3 operators together into one operator, because what you can do is just simply drive onto the site and take out a whole bunch of gadgets. You know, Bandit isn't going to be bandit tricking if there's a drone about to explode next to him. And the explosive radius on this thing is great for taking out a lot of things. You can just take out a whole bank of batteries, you can take out ADSs, and that's the thing as well. You can go right past WAMIs, and you can go right past Jaegers. Nothing will intercept this. You'd have to physically shoot it, or maybe stop it with something like electrified barbed wire. So this thing is very much about destruction of gadgets, taking out utility. And I think he's going to be basically played as an alternative to Thatcher. But also, you've got the Ash capabilities in here by causing breaching holes in soft walls or hatches, or even blowing holes in ceilings to look down, because this thing makes a nice big hole. So he's going to be great for destroying enemy utility, but also he does bring a lot of options himself, and I think he's just going to be, like I say, a Thatcher and maybe a little bit of an Ash alternative that can be used for destruction of gadgets and destruction of surfaces. Now other special things this drone can do is that it can jump. And you can jump, activate the detonation, and then whatever surface it touches after that, it'll actually stick to. So you can make a nice big hole in the middle of a wall, or you could attach it to a deployable shield, or literally anything that you want. Me and Griefdrums also found what we think is probably a bug, where it can actually vault up walls that have punch holes in it, so just melee holes. It can for some reason actually kind of grip to them, and you can climb walls using them in order to then attach to the ceiling and potentially blow someone up above. But like I say, the threat indicator does show through for the defender above, so it's very unlikely that you'll be successful in getting kills that way, but it'll happen from time to time. Now let's talk counters. So first of all, Flores counters Jaeger and Wamai because he can just drive right by them and their gadgets do nothing and he can just blow them all up. So that is a massive counter to both those operators. The counter to Flores is Mute and maybe Maestro, because he can shoot the drone and destroy it with a laser before it goes into its bulletproof explosive mode. But if you're smart with this, you could potentially just leap in a window, for instance, and start a detonation before you actually enter the window. That way you're bulletproof when you actually land, and then potentially blow up a whole bunch of gadgets inside the objective room. So I don't think Maestro's that good of a counter, whereas Mute kind of is. He certainly stops the drone. He also stops the drone's detonation with what I would say is the most useless trick in Rainbow Six Siege, which is to actually mute trick these explosive drones, because you literally can. There's just enough time to do it, and it gets the heart going, but it is useless. You can actually, although you can stop the detonation, it's just not great. And if the mute jammer is destroyed, the detonation from the drone will actually continue. Now, another thing is Mozzie. You would think that Mozzie would be able to counter this and actually take it over and either use it as an observation tool or to, of course, blow up an attacker. But this is the reaction from me and Gravedrums when we were testing this new operator and found out how it interacts with Mozzie. Oh my god. Oh, come on.
Oh, come on. That's not fair.
That's not. Oh, god, I'm upset. I'm very upset. So you can see there, we were very disappointed with this interaction because, like, this would have been so cool to take over as Mozzie. It was like Mozzie was made for it. But even though he is a counter, he's not that good of a counter. Like, the thing is, Mozzie just doesn't have enough pests for all the drones he would have to counter. It's a disappointment because obviously the pest gets destroyed and the drone gets destroyed. It just feels like it's a bit of a useless counter. Now, they're taking away that big explosive capability, I guess, but it just doesn't feel satisfying with Mozzie, unfortunately. Another counter is electrified barbed wire or electrified reinforced walls that will destroy if there is contact with the drone, but you should be smart enough to get around that with the drone without too much issue. And of course, you've got 4 of them, so you could just drive up to the barbed wire, blow up your drone, destroying the wire, and then drive in with another drone after that straight away. There's no problem there. Now, of course, Flores can also counter stuff like castle barricades. He can just attach to them directly if he wants to and blow them up. He can also jump his drone, activate the detonation sequence, which makes the drone bulletproof mid-air, and then actually fly it through some Aruni lasers. It'll switch the lasers off, but the drone survives long enough to explode afterwards, potentially, blowing up some gadgets around the other side of that Aruni. And then finally, once the drone has gone into its bulletproof detonation phase, it cannot be meleeed like normal bulletproof gadgets. The only thing that can take it out is an impact grenade, or of course a nitro cell as well. But is it worth it to destroy an explosive with an explosive? You're definitely going to have a less of a blast radius with an impact grenade, but still, you're also going to have potentially taking out that bandit battery that's nearby the drone. So I don't know if it's worth it to actually blow it up with an impact. But the best counter, of course, is to shoot it before Flores actually gets into detonation mode. The thing is, like I say, if he's jumping in a window or if he's just coming in, quickly into an objective, he can have it in bulletproof mode very quickly and you just can't shoot it in time. But anyway, to conclude, I went in thinking this guy was going to be a bit boring, a bit lackluster, and I wasn't sure what kind of role he was going to fill. But after playing him, I'm like, this guy's basically super good competition for Thatcher, and he might even bring in a little bit of competition for the high picked operators like Zofia and Ash, because he does have some of that utility that you need. He's also quite fun to play. I thought the whole explosive drone thing was going to be a little bit boring and repetitive, but because you can play him to destroy gadgets or try and go for kills or to blow holes in the ceilings, you can end up playing this guy pretty much any way you want. It can be gadget destruction you go for and play him like a Thatcher, or you could be blowing holes in ceilings and be playing him like a Buck, or you could be blowing holes in walls, playing him like an Ash, or you can be trying to get those elusive kills with the gadget as well. So yeah, I actually think he's not that bad of an operator for the beginning of year 6. Like I say, overall, he's definitely not the most complicated. There is not there's not great interactions with his teammates. There's not really great interactions with the enemy, other than, of course, blowing everything up. But definitely, he's going to find his place in this game for sure. Like I say, I think Thatcher has some real competition here. And we're going to have to see how this guy plays out in the test server and if they tweak him at all when it comes to balancing. But anyway guys, that's my first look and first impressions of the new attacking operator. I've only had a couple of days with him to actually test him out, but let me know what you think of him in the comments below, and of course I'll be back with full tests of this guy later in the week. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.